Hey neighbor, welcome back to ARTV. Thanks for stopping by. My name is John. I think it's Sunday. It's 2020. I've lost all track of time. Yeah, I think it's Sunday, so welcome back to 7 on Sunday. Today we're talking about 7 songs from the modern age, the 21st century, that have already aged terribly. I'm talking about a track that for whatever reason, maybe it's the lyrics, the production, or just the overall content and message of the song, it's aged like milk sitting out in the sun, which, as my 7th grade haircut would tell you, is not good. Obviously no person or no artist is perfect, and I'm not trying to hold them to that standard, but I think we can all admit there's things in our past that sometimes we're like, I have to look back at that with my cringe goggles on because I can't even do it. Like, why did I listen to this? Why did I tell those type of jokes? Why was I into this, a part of this, wearing this, whatever it was? Let's just look back and cringe together. And if you like some of these songs, well, you know, we all grow up someday. I guess you'll get there. Round 1, fight! Hollywood Undead were one of my favorite bands at one point in time, and I think a lot of others could look back and admit, yeah, I jammed out pretty hard to Swan songs and maybe even American Tragedy, and making the list at number 7 today is Undead, of course, by Hollywood Undead. They've done a lot of things with dead in the title, okay? Do some of the tracks from Swan songs still slap? Absolutely. I mean, get a bottle of liquor in me and I will be singing along most of the words, not all of them, as evidenced by this pick, Undead. Undead does sound very of its time, very dated due to the production. Those keys sound so modulated, so fake in the way that they creep in, and in a way, it sounds like it should be playing in a Halloween store somewhere, which might not be the worst thing ever, but beyond that, there's a lot of F-bombs in this song, and I'm not talking about fuck, I'm talking about something far more offensive. Back then, unfortunately, that word was tossed around a lot, and that's not the only reason that I'm putting this on the list, but I did find it to be kinda hurtful at this point, because it's one of those songs that just looks back and it's like, hey, I'm going to put you down and say, I'm gonna use your sexuality against you as an offense, as an attack on you for no reason. I wanna make you feel small, but I can only do that by finding the worst kinds of insults. Undead has a big energy to it, and I don't mind a lot of the musical aspects to it. I think some of the trading off in the verses between the rappers is kind of infectious, but at the end of the day, the lyrical content just feels like it's trying so hard to be 3 edgy 5 me that I can't even stomach it. So, Ariana, how's that soulmate thing with Pete Davidson going? At number 6, we have The Man of Her Dreams in the title of the song, except that relationship did not last any longer than a seal during Shark Week. It went fast, the relationship burned out, and obviously they're no longer together, but at one point in time, they got engaged after being together for like, what, 3 weeks? Take this as kind of like a time capsule to any artist who might want to write a song about their significant other. Just kind of take it and make it a metaphor. Don't necessarily put it right there in the title, because while Ariana was obviously aware of the fact that, hey, no regrets, live in the moment, it's my artistry right now, and the song is actually still really good, the subject matter about being soulmates and everything with Pete Davidson, maybe not so much. But still, a beautiful sentiment, a nice try, and we'll give it a better shot next time. Remember back when Psy was the biggest thing on YouTube and everybody was just obsessed with what he was gonna drop next? Well, after Gangnam Style wore off and we got all those dances and the memes that kind of sparked a big craze and has arguably left a huge impact on the platform as a whole, we got Gentleman, the song that held the YouTube views record for most views on a music video in 24 hours for quite a while. Gentleman isn't meant to be taken entirely seriously, but also there's so many stereotypes and also kind of jokes that just haven't aged very well at all. It's like a bitter pill to swallow looking back. You translate the lyrics and a lot of them are very silly, but at the same time, Psy clearly knew exactly what he was doing. He knew that a lot of people would have no idea what the song was about and they weren't gonna bother looking into it for themselves, and they would find it inoffensive, entertaining, bright colors in the music video, and we're all singing and dancing pretty electronic beat. Psy starts to rap and sing about making women wet towards the end of the song, which starts to feel a little bit borderline creepy, especially when he goes, "Wet Psy!" me? It sounds like the man's about to unleash a Psyduck attack from Pokemon. It's strange, it's an oddity, it lives on the internet forever, and I always think that it's going to be a part of meme culture, just Psy in general. But this track, looking back, it's kind of like The Fox by Ylvis. You can go back one time and that's great, it's a hit of nostalgia, but after that, those rose-colored glasses are coming right off. Oof, this one hurts. At number 4, Do What You Want by Lady Gaga featuring R. Kelly, at least originally. Now, I'm starting this with a disclaimer. Obviously, Lady Gaga has distanced herself from this collaboration. It seems like it was set up by her management team. They had the same one at the time, R. Kelly and Gaga, and they did the collaboration, which is, oddly enough, all about doing whatever you want with bodies, and apparently that's exactly what R. Kelly did, and ew. That version of the song has since been removed from streaming platforms. It was on her 2013 album Art Pop, which is a fantastic record. Go back and revisit it. It absolutely holds up. But that song in particular, the lyrics, the way that it's so overtly sexual, that's not the problem. It's the person on there being like awful, a sexual predator, a sexual abuser, and just a long list of offenses that I encourage you to look up for yourself because it's not good. The song's a banger, okay? I'm not denying that, but the artist featured, it's just unfortunate. And the SNL performance gets even creepier given what R. Kelly is doing, whatever he wants quite literally to Gaga's body. It's weird, I know that it was performance art, but looking back, I think it just gives everybody this weird, eerie, creepy feeling that just makes our skin crawl. So, sorry for having to show you that, but no, it didn't age well. Shut the fuck up and get up! Shut the fuck up and get up! Dubstep will never die, okay, bitches? Get on the dubstep train, at least that's what I was saying in 2012, and here we are at my number 3 pick, Get Up by KORN featuring SKRILLEX. Now, they did this album that wasn't entirely awful, but it was pretty bad in my eyes, The Path of Totality. It came out at the peak of dubstep around 2012. Late that year, they dropped some songs from it, and I was really into it at the time, I won't lie. Combining heavy metal with SKRILLEX-like production, even though it wasn't just him the entire record. It was odd, but it kinda had a nice feeling to it, but it did not last long. I'm talking about like popping a Cialis pill. Now, with all of that in mind, we look to Get Up, a song that's really trying to rouse your spirit, be a rally cry for the angry kids that don't feel that they're gonna get any justice in life, and they're gonna say, shut up, get the fuck up on the hook of this song. It just feels like it's trying extremely hard, and it has the big wub-wubs rolling right on over you and just putting you in this bubble. And at this point in time, if you go back to The Path of Totality, all you're probably gonna want to do to that bubble is just pop it. Ooh, this is getting tougher and tougher as we inch our way to the top. But at number 2, it's You're So Gay by Katy Perry. This should be fun. Around 2007 to 2008, Katy Perry was really starting to gain a lot of attention. This was included on her debut album, One of the Boys, and it was actually one of the tracks that got her a record deal. I mean, just like 13 years ago, think about it. Record labels were scooping people up because of a song like this. Katy herself is aware that this song has not aged well, and I know that she doesn't stand by it. I'm not one to try and cancel somebody over an old tweet or an old lyric, but this song is incredibly hard to stomach. There are references to MySpace on here, which one, a lot of you are probably giving me a blank stare like, what is that? It's an old social network that obviously is no longer in use, and it's why I preach don't put social media in your songs because it might not be around 10 years from now. Also, she obviously tries to demasculate this man that would not go out with her by talking about how he's gay and he doesn't even like boys. She's aware of the fact that the man is not actually gay, but she sings all over this track that, oh, you do this, so you must be gay. You listen to classical music, I hope that you hang yourself with your H&M scarf. That's literally how she opens the song. Where do we go from there? Things do not get better from there, so it just really goes straight to hell. I encourage you to probably not give this a listen if you've never heard it before. Just take my word for it. We don't need it in 2020.
I'ma be the owner, be a thought donor. I'ma go hard like a motherfucking boner. I'ma make a beat to put the people in a coma.
All the way at number 1 is a personal vendetta I've been wanting to clear for a long time. It's the hardest ever T.H.E. by WILL.IA.M. So many dots, so futuristic, so cool, right? At one point in time, Will.I.am and the Black Eyed Peas were looked at as this futuristic sounding pop and hip hop group that were breaking down barriers and genres, and everything was just so evolutionary. Where's it gonna go? How many Beats product placements can we fit in one music video? Hey, what do you know? They actually turned out to be ahead of the curve there, but that's not a good thing at all. And The Hardest Ever by Will.I.am featuring the Mick Jagger and Jenny from the Block herself is one of the weirdest mindfuckery tracks that I've ever heard in my fucking life. First of all, there's answers that I still do not have about this song. Like, why is the Mick Jagger, like Mick Jagger from the Rolling Stones, featured on this song? He's primarily only on the outro singing about how you can go hard or you can go home, and he serves no purpose at all. He looks terrible in the music video that at this point in time, I think you'll all agree has not aged well. And the song itself, he adds nothing to it. Like, were you investing in Will.I.am's like watch company or something? And he just had to hold this above your head like, hey, if you're an investor, you have to appear in the music video and the song. I don't make the rules. Rest assured, he is the smallest of the problems this track has. This was originally supposed to be the lead single from Willpower, his debut solo album. After breaking away from the Black Eyed Peas, he's doing his own futuristic thing. Well, that did not go well. It got panned by critics, and rightfully so. It's one of the worst records I've ever listened to. This track in particular didn't even make the final cut. That's how much he didn't believe in it just like a year or two later.
Oh my goodness, this beat is so hard.
The man spends half the track talking or singing about how hard his beat is. It's your own beat, and he keeps acknowledging it like, oh my goodness, this beat is so hard, and then he calls out lines like, this beat is the shit. Feces. That is one of the worst rhymes, the most dead in the brain rhymes that I've ever heard. Go to the Genius page for yourself. Just have a read through it. You don't even need to hear the full song. The preview I gave you, that is enough. Steer clear. This is only like 8 or 9 years old at the time of recording this video, but it sounds like it's at least 100, at least in terms of internet culture. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode of 7 on Sunday. If you enjoyed it, then please do me a favor. Drop a like on the video, subscribe for the love of music, or in this case, I suppose, the hatred or the cringe of music. If you want to catch up on another episode, then tap this card here, or tap over here to see another recent review. Socials can be found in the description down below, and I'll see you soon for more right here on ARTV.